Oh Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalki Sakshat Shri Sahasrara Swamini Moksha Pradayani Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo
Good evening, everyone. Lovely to have you here with us. Good evening, Philip. Welcome.
Hello, Lynn, and hello, everybody else.
I have to try and make you come down on the screen. Okay, I'm adding you. You're here.
I'm here. Oh, good.
You're in a proper box, not in a little box on the side. Apologies, everyone else here in little boxes. No, really nice to be with you all. We have a nice subject for our meditation tonight, which is what comes after self-realization. And of course, don't worry if it's your first time here, we will go through what is realization briefly as well. But it's quite an interesting topic, isn't it, Philip?
It is. It's the basis of Sahaja Yoga, actually.
Yeah.
It's a fundamental point of Sahaja Yoga, yeah.
And what would that be, do you say?
It's when you talk about self-realization,
yeah,
basically what it means on a very subtle level is you understand that you are the spirit in your heart. You realize the self, where the self is actually not the ego or the mind, it's actually the spirit in the heart. And when you get your awakening through Kundalini, that's the process. And you start feeling that in your heart as you develop. And you go, and it's like, oh, yes. It's a subtle realization. It's a feeling. Not being told or bought or traded or anything. It's to do with feeling it within yourself.
yeah.
And that's the beauty of it.
You feel it and then it's realizing, you go, oh, that's what I am.
Yes.
And we were actually talking about what is spirit a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
And we kind of came to a conclusion that it was the love of God.
Definitely. That's
and it's
fundamental.
It doesn't stop.
Yeah.
Dying and being reborn, should you happen to say
Yeah.
believe in that.
Yeah. It's an interesting thing. It's a self. It is the spirit in the heart, and it's that eternal part of ourself, which is actually the most powerful, the most silent, and at the same time the most joyful. It's like the permanent existence that's out there and in us, and it's there for us to get through our meditation after we get our awakening. It's a step in our awareness. It's like a part of the evolution of humanity.
Yeah. And another thing is that when you get realization, I was just thinking about this a minute ago, you get collective consciousness.
Yes.
So, and it's good to just dwell on what that actually means. So you're conscious of yourself, should you happen to look at yourself, and you're conscious of everyone else. But more than that, if spirit is the love of God, it's you awaken that feeling of love for all mankind, rather than just sort of that small individual love. Even though we may feel that's like tremendous, imagine how much more tremendous it must be when it's of all humanity.
Yes.
So it's collective in that way.
You realize your situation where you belong among the human race, and you realize the better side of the human race. And this is a beautiful thing that Shri Mataji brought through Sahaja Yoga, is that self-realization, that recognition of how we are interlinked beautifully. And once you get your awakening, your Kundalini awakening, that's the process, and through meditation that develops. And as we were saying before, it's like, oh, you start feeling that within yourself. It's a happening. It's like a growing process. are developing.
And interesting you should mention the human race, because it's not actually a race, although we want to get to it, but it's in order to bring everyone along with us.
With us, yeah. Race as in the humans, yeah. Not a race, no. Yeah. Now, it's rather beautiful, and it's people who come to Sahaja Yoga, and this is the beauty of holding the programs, and for people to feel this is for them to discover, because it is part of our development. We're in that position where, as a humans, we've got to take another step, and we've evolved so far and given great indications along the way of what we should do about ourself, the realization, the second birth, the moksha, the enlightenment. That's been going on for thousands of years, the mention of that.
Yeah.
So, and it's so in this period that we've got to go higher to discover the actual what we're here for in a real term, the real way.
So, and it's also, making ourselves, our individual self, better.
Yeah.
So we can feel that more and get beyond our self-realization.
Yeah.
Which is what we're wanting to dwell on, what's after self-realization.
After
That's been a
self-realization,
goal for many religions and beliefs and cultures. A goal was enlightenment, self-realization, but it's actually going beyond that goal, and it's kind of never ending.
It's also getting the real thing in a sense as well. What does this actually mean? And it has to relate to each of us. Each human being has the ability to get the self-realization and to evolve, because it's in them. And when you evolve and understand, you have a wider look at things. You see, oh, yes, the subtleties are there, and they really do give that link to each other. And
yeah. Oh, sorry if I'm interrupting you, but it's
no, you go, away go. Yeah.
just the thinking of it, it's the feeling of it. So we got to go
Yep.
back to our meditation, which is getting those moments of thoughtlessness.
Yeah.
We feel, and it feels stronger each time we do it. That's not to say that some days we're not feeling it.
You have your ups and downs, yes.
Yeah, but then there's something we can work on.
Yeah.
If we're not feeling it,
Yeah.
you can wonder why. But then there's another day, another meditation. So
Yeah, but once you have that awakening and you understand some basics of Sahaja Yoga, as Shri Mataji said, you become your own teacher, and you look at yourself and you feel on your vibrations, on your hands, how you are, and with that knowledge, you assist and let the balancing happen within, the Kundalini become stronger, and most importantly, letting the thoughtless awareness, the present, the moment, the important moment is silent within us to expand and develop. We're no longer so much in the past, but it's still there and useful, parts of it, the character, or too much in the future. It's more that we're in the present enjoying and looking at past and future. And it's like letting that develop. It's an ongoing thing. And so we as human beings have this idea that I'm doing things and everything, but really? Like, we've got a bit of illusion there. And we've evolved to this point through a process. Now that the spiritual evolution has to happen within, and through meditation, it works out for us. If we surrender our ego and our conditioning, and that's very important, actually. Yeah.
And surrendering means not getting stuck in a reaction.
You're true,
Being in the reaction of yourself, being able to kind of sidestep it and go, oh, you're reacting about something. Wonder why.
Sometimes that takes a while to get over too.
Yeah. And even just seeing it later is still.
Yeah, you can laugh at yourself sometimes. Go, oops, I put in it again. Or you realise that what can happen in a better way,
Yeah.
and it's that growth. Shri Mataji describes it like the seed is sprouted within us through the awakening of the Kundalini. Now to nurture that, it's like nurturing a plant you put somewhere. You water, fertilize it, let it grow. And by our meditation, we allow the Kundalini to develop and strengthen, the central channel to develop more, and it shows us our spirit. It leads to that. It's a process.
Yeah.
And it happens. And all we have to really surrender is the past thinking, future thinking, and allow the silence, the thoughtless awareness, the nirvichara, which is a real meditation, to actually happen within ourselves. That's the subtlety of it. And it's when you're in that, and when you discover that and feel it for yourself, you go, oh, that's rather beautiful. And that's the beauty of this, to find it for yourself, yeah.
Shall we listen to Shri Mataji talking about that?
Yes, of course.
Nice, maybe 12 minutes or so, and then we'll go through and meditate and go through the realization.
Has the nature of being the truth itself. And this truth is the love of God. So the truth is that God is love. That this power that works in you is love. Love of God. And love of God is pure love. We have lost the sense of purity because of our own venturesomeness. But purity is where the love has no lust, no greed. It's innocent. Like the sap in the tree rises, nourishes the whole tree and goes back. It doesn't get attached to any particular flower or to any particular leaf and says that I like this. It's absolutely detached. It just nourishes and goes back. But carnal love is like the sap rises, goes into a flower and gets lost. Thus, the flower will also die, the tree will also die. And one must understand that when you get after realization, what you have to do is first of all to see yourself how much you love others, how much your heart has opened for love, how much you can share. The individualism should drop out. That is collective consciousness. It doesn't mean that you can feel the chakras of another person, you can feel the chakras that you have the problems, you go on like that. It means that when the spirit starts shining in your attention, first thing that you develop a great compassion for this human race, not for the animals or for the bugs, like the many vegetarians do, but for the human beings. They are the epitome of evolution. So you develop your love for other human beings because they become part and parcel of your being. Now, for example, a finger is sick and the other finger looks after it. It is not doing any obligation, but actually it is soothing, because if this is soothed, all the body comes to a very pleasant state. If this is unpleasant, the whole body is in an unpleasant state. So if you treat one finger, you are treating the whole. In the same way, your compassion starts flowing. But many people have very funny ideas about compassion also. And these must be corrected through experimentation. Some of the ideas of compassion are that you should worry all the time about people who are absolutely at the low ebb of life. As a mother, I would say, you have to first mature yourself. As children, you are still growing. That is what humility means. Understand that you have to still become the spirit in the full way. And just now, to jump to tasks of taking up very difficult cases will be very dangerous, and you may get enwrapped into it, and your progress may stop. So, as humble students of Sahaja Yoga, first you have to learn how to master it yourself, to become a person who doesn't catch from other people, who doesn't get troubles from other people. In a way, such a person has to be very cautious. Now, I have seen so many people. They come to the programs and they find one person who is possessed, shouting, screaming. And a Sahaja who is really matured will say, now you get out of this place, you should not be here. Because that person will know that everybody will be troubled by this person. Because this person has got a disease which will be contagious. All mental troubles are contagious, which people do not know, like psychologists. They don't know that they are treating psychopaths, they themselves become psychopaths, because they have no way of protecting themselves. So first of all, you must protect yourself, and you find anybody like that, better not go near that person. At the most, you can say, Mother, look after this man, if you have so much of feelings. But sympathy of this kind is very dangerous. I call it simp means to share, and pati means pathos. So you share the pathos of a madman and you get into troubles. So as good children, I have to warn you that you should get more attached, more adhered to a person who is more evolved, more enlightened. Instead of that, people start feeling jealous and get ego-oriented and start fighting with a person who is much better. Now Dr. Warren, as you know, has achieved it, a very great height in Sahaja Yoga. But in Australia, I found many people who were really jealous of him for nothing at all, and they wanted to oust him, while they themselves were at the low ebb, and they always wanted to go to people who are at a lower ebb. If you have to go higher, then you have to stick on to people who have gone little higher, and not to go to such people who are at a lower ebb, while they can come up only by looking up. So you cannot bring them by going down to them. So those people who have got realization for the first time, who have just touched it, should not suddenly start thinking, now they have become the great evolved people. They have to grow like trees, and acquire the knowledge of their powers. For example, if I enter into one room, that doesn't mean that I have gone to all the rooms. That doesn't mean that I know what's happening in other rooms. So for a person who has got realization, has to be humble about it, that I have to see more, and I have to know more, I have to be better. This attitude helps a lot in their growth. And once you have achieved the higher state, which we call as nirvikalpa, means doubtless awareness, after that you yourself can start with great enthusiasm helping people, those who are much lower than you. This is one of the reasons many people who come to Sahaja Yoga go down and take a lot of time to come up. Sahaja Yoga is becoming. It is not that you can make somebody a plastic surgeon. You cannot give a certificate, all right, now you are a realized soul. It is you who has to certify yourself. It is you who has to grow up, and it is you who has to master it. It is you who knows whether you have got it or not. So you have to have due respect for yourself and for others. The second problem arises that a person becomes bumptious and starts quarreling with Sahaja Yogis, taking sides of people who are negative. People who are not yet anywhere is also a common sight I have seen with many people. So one should see what changes have come in me, what transformation has taken place in me. One can even write a diary to see how I become more compassionate, how I become more tolerant, how I become much more nourishing. Can I share things with others? Do I enjoy the company of others and the company of Sahaja Yogis? But that doesn't mean that you have to enjoy the company of the people who are not realized and not to enjoy the company of the people who are realized. In India we have many good saints and very realized souls. And their idea about human beings is very sad, because they think that human beings can never understand that when they have to grow up, they have to grow up with humility. Like a student has to learn from a professor, you have to learn from your Kundalini how to grow, how to become better by watching yourself. They think that unless and until the guru is very strict, actually like the gurus you have in the market, they are not. They are very different type of people. They are terribly hard taskmasters. If you see their methods are so horrifying that I shudder to send anyone to them. Once I had sent one gentleman, he had told me there was one guru called as Gagangad Maharaj, who is a real guru. And he's very well known, but he lives in the jungles and his legs are broken and hands are broken by human beings, and he's carried by a tiger. So he told me, Mother, if anybody troubles you, if you are in difficulties with somebody who is very troublesome, you send him over to me. So I said, all right. There was one gentleman who was very torturesome. He used to ask questions after questions like mad, and very troublesome fellow, very ego-oriented. So just I said, all right, you go and see this guru. Now this guru doesn't see people at all, so he felt very enamored, his ego was pampered. Oh God, the guru has called me, something great. So he went to that guru. After a month he came back, and like there was a big passage, and his legs were on his neck, and they were bringing him as if dangling towards me. I looked at him. I couldn't bear it, and tears came into my eyes. I said, what has happened to you? He said, Mother, I'm sorry for what I did. I said, what happened? He said, you see, when I went there, I was rather bad because I told against you to the guru. I said, what did you tell against the guru? He said, I told that Mother is giving realization to every Tom, Dick and Harry, and she should really first of all verify and then give realization and this and that. And I was talking ill about you. He said, yes, you are wiser than Mother, isn't it? And then in the night, the tiger came and threw me in a cut and fell down 14 feet down. And then this guru lowered some bread after 3 days and asked that you can eat this food but stay there. And I was lying there for 5 days, and every day he used to lower the bread for him, and he was there, all filled with filth and everything. After 5-6 days, he sent 3-4 people to pick him up. And when he came up, he asked them to give him a bath and all that, and a change. And then he told that you put these legs around your neck and go dangling to Mother. She's the one who will put you right, not me. And if you ever say a word against Mother, then I will break your legs in such a way that you will never be able to fix them. Poor fellow, he was shattered. And he came to me, Mother, it was too much. Of course, his legs were fixed, he's all right, he's a good fellow now. But that is what they do Because according to them, unless and until you take them to task, you cannot humble them down. Like another fellow, I sent him to another fellow who was a doctor and used to really bother me too much. But I just told him, go and see this particular guru. So when the doctor came back, he was thin like sticks. I said, what has happened? Didn't he not give you food to eat? No, mother, he gave me food all right. He was very affectionate. But what happened? Why did you lose so much weight? What has happened to you? You are looking so very thin. So he was staying about 7 miles one had to walk up. And every day he had to carry 2 buckets of water to clean one dilapidated temple there. Every day he was supposed to take that and clean it. So I asked this guru, what do you mean by torturing him like this, taking these 2 buckets to clean the thing? He said, for a donkey you must give donkey's work. I am not a mother to look after these ego-oriented people. It's better that he's trash now, he'll be better off. So this is what the way they think people can be taught, and they are to learn their lessons of spirituality in this way. Even when you go to them, they'll test you in so many ways that you absolutely get fed up and you leave them, and they are very happy that you have left them forever. They are never anxious that you should be close to them, because it is a thankless job. Otherwise, if you see, if you don't take any money, you are never rewarded. People try to always boss over you. So they think that it's better first to put them right. Let them learn that you have to go hard way to be the spirit. But Sahaja Yoga today is not like that. As a mother, I thought, let these children who are already under pressure and tension receive their realization. Let them have their realization. Let them have their light kindle, and let them see what's wrong with them.
So we'll leave it there. We'll put on the link in case you want to listen to the rest of that talk. It's from the series in Boston in 1983. So that was another day, I think the 14th. But for now, let's go through self-realization, Philip, and get into a nice meditation. Do you want me to put that slide of the chart on?
Yes.
Oh. I can't quite hear you, Philip. I'm not sure.
Okay. For those who are online, just open our hands on our lap. And what needs to happen is that on the screen you'll see the subtle body, and that central channel, which is there within us but has to be brought into its existence by the awakening of the Kundalini, which is residual in the sacrum bone at the bottom. And we're going to go through a process where we invite that energy, this nurturing energy, to raise up and come through the top. So that is what is actually a self-realization or yoga or moksha or enlightenment, whichever name you like to get it, the same thing. And by doing that, you start to feel it. It's part of our awareness. It's for us to feel that because it's there, it's owed to us. So we open our hands on our lap. Now, first of all, we're going to put our hands, using our right hand on our left side of our body on the subtle system. And this is our side of desire. So we put the first one, put our hand on our heart. And we ask ourselves, who am I? I'm not the past, I'm not the future, I'm not my conditionings or my ego. What am I? And it's in our heart, it's our spirit. It's that eternal part of ourself. It's residual there and gets awakened. And we are to feel that spirit. So we can say to ourselves, I am the spirit, because that's what we really are. I am the spirit. Now take that right hand down to the left-hand side of the navel. And here, this subtle energy here, this system, this chakra, is to do with our mastery of understanding ourselves, and where we become our own teacher and we learn the subtleness of the subtle body and can help ourselves. So we are our own teacher. We are our own guru. That's what we have to become to understand ourselves. This is a subtle knowledge of ourselves. I am my own guru or teacher or master. Now move that hand down to where the leg joins the body on the left. This is where the creative part of ourself is, on the subtle, on the chakras. And it's to do with creativity and knowledge. And here we are to have the knowledge which is beneficial for us. It's that subtle knowledge, the true knowledge. So ask for that. We say, please give me the true knowledge. The knowledge which is beneficial for me. And we can say that I am that true knowledge. What we fundamentally are, it is there within us. I am the true knowledge. We come back up with the right hand to left hand side of the navel. And I am my own teacher. That's the beautiful thing about Sahaja Yoga, as you learn your system. You become the master of that. You help yourself. I am my own teacher. We go back up to the heart. That heart is beating there. And that's a reflection of that eternal energy, which is our spirit. I am the spirit. And I am to become the spirit. I am the spirit. It's the real meaning of spirituality, is our spirit. Take our right hand up to our left shoulder, joins the throat there. And here, this center gets affected if we feel guilty about things we've done in the past. So we can say to ourselves, I am not guilty. I am not guilty. Because things have happened, we need to forgive ourselves and be not guilty and let it go. Now take that right hand to the back of the head. This is where our superego sits. It's our past, it's our memory. It's where all our memories are stored. And here we can say that I'm not the past. I am not the past. We are in the moment, we're in the present. This is where we forgive ourselves. I forgive myself. I forgive myself. And this clears our past. We take that right hand across our forehead. This is where the ego sits. This is where we can say, I'm not the future, and I forgive everybody. Forgiveness is one of our greatest qualities. It can solve many problems. I forgive. I forgive everybody. And please make me a forgiving person. I forgive. Take their right hand and place it on top of the head. And here where we ask this chakra to open so we can feel that yoga, that moksha, that enlightenment. We ask the Kundalini to pass through here to get the union, the yoga. Please open my Sahasrara. This is our crown, the top of the head, the halo. Please open my Sahasrara and give me my self-realization. We can massage that softly, keeping our attention there, asking for our yoga, for our second birth. So lift that hand up. You may feel a cool breeze there. Keeping our attention on the top, where that cool breeze is, we bring our right hand back to our lap and just keep our attention on the top, above our thoughts. The awakening of the Kundalini enables us to put our attention up there, clears a path for us to be. We can take our right hand and starting at the base of our body, running it up the front in line with the spine, we can actually lift the Kundalini and ask her, it's a nurturing, mothering energy, for her to strengthen. And feel up the top again to see, is there a cool breeze there? Very subtle. Once again, keep our attention on the top, just for a moment or so.
as lovely as that is, I'd like to carry on further, but maybe we can finish this part of our meditation, Philip, by raising our kundalini and putting on the bandhan. Short form for getting into.
Take our hands, the left hand raises so, right hand goes around it. We take it to the top, we tie it a knot. And this is lifting our kundalini and tying it up. Of course, you want it to remain. One tie, second time up, 2 knots at the top this time for 2 channels. Third time up to the top. And 3 knots. Now, to keep our attention and our subtle body peaceful, left hand out, right hand over to our left, and over the top of our head like that with our right hand. Over and back is 1, over and back is 2, we go up to 7. 1 for each of the subtle centers. And this is called a bandhan. It's like a lovely protection of love, like an armor, but it's subtle. This is how we start our meditation each day. And once again, the most important thing is to try it each day, to raise our kundalini, set up a candle and a photograph of Shri Mataji, and just put the hands out, tie up the kundalini, and try and keep your attention up here. If you find the mind is wandering, you can always say, I forgive, or not these thoughts. Be patient with yourself, and you've got to let it happen, because that's why the kundalini is there. She'll move up through, particularly the center here, the chakra here, to move through so we can have that silent space. That's why she's there. That's why that space is there. So we as humans can evolve through this awakening to be in a peaceful place. And as we said before, and when you're in that quiet zone, the thoughtless awareness, the spirit shows itself as that quiet joy. It's very subtle, but it's there. So we won't nag too much, but try it each day. That's the important thing, and be patient with yourself and let it develop, because you'll feel the beauty of it.
So just put the talk in the chat for anyone who's interested. And of course, feel free to give any feedback or ask any questions you might have. So we might just put on a bit more music. If everyone wants to continue on meditating, they can. We'll have that on for about 10 minutes or so. And of course, if you have any questions, we're ready to answer those. So I'll just share a bit more of flute.
Mm-hmm.